Hello, good, wonderful, lovely, beautiful children of the Most High God. It is I, Priscilla Tennant, with another video. This time, I'm not singing, and I've been doing some of these lately, but I may be doing more of these videos where I just share some thoughts and insights on life that I feel like I get from heaven because they help me and they encourage me in my soul. So why not share? If it's a gift, then we're called to share our gifts. So let me share. So anyways, I try to spend devotional time with Abba in the morning, read my Bible, write down whatever I get from it. So I think a lot of these are going to be takeaways from that. Like, I'll just pick one and share it with you guys. So this time I wanted to share one. I want to say I read this last week. It comes from Mark 10:17 through, 17 through 31. And it's where Jesus encounters the young rich man, and he comes to Jesus and he says, "What must I do to inherit the kingdom of God?" And so Jesus was like, okay. So he gives them the whole rap sheet, pretty much like the 10 Commandments. Thou must not steal, thou must not lie, thou must not covet, thou must not have any other God before God, you can't murder, all that wonderful stuff. The young man says, "Yo, I've done all this stuff." And one thing that I wrote down that stood out to me while I was reading, it says, Jesus looked at him and loved him, and he said, "One thing you lack." And I think a lot of times we go through the story, and especially with stories like this, which we hear so often, we kind of know the end point that we're trying to get to, or that people usually give us. So we skip over some things that can be like really pivotal and help us a lot just in our everyday life and just with our humanity and stuff like that. So I love that it said Jesus looked at him and loved him and said that one thing you lack, because it's like he saw what he lacked. He saw his flaw. He's like, yeah, you're good. But when he saw where he was weak, or when he saw where he was unable to do for himself, he was like, that's where me and you meet. Like, that place of weakness, that place of vulnerability, that place of pain, that place of I can't quite do this, is really where, like, God is always with us. But I feel like that is where we honestly and truly connect with God. So of course he goes on, and Jesus says, you have to, go sell yourself to the poor and come follow me. And of course we all know the young man walked away, and he's like, dang. And then Jesus goes on to say it's easier for a camel to walk through a needle than a rich person to get into the kingdom of God. And then God is like, well, who can be saved then? No, his disciples actually, who can be saved then? And he's like, with man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. And again, it's just like, even the very thing of salvation, the very walk of salvation, oftentimes we'll be like, oh, I have to do this. And even the young man, he's like, what do I have to do to inherit the kingdom of God? But it was never meant for man to just be inheriting the kingdom of God on its own. We were always supposed to walk this kingdom thing out with Christ, with God, depending on him, giving up and surrendering every day, like coming to that point where we're like, I give up. Like, even I was telling a friend last week, I woke up and finances has been my struggle. It's a place of insecurity. And even looking at some choices and things that I've made, I just get mad at myself, and I just get very discouraged at times. And I hadn't even got out of bed, y'all. And I just told Abba, I was just like, I give up. I give up. I give up. I give up. I just give up. And in me, I felt like I was disappointed because, of course, I feel like humans, we should be able to do all things, superwoman. That's the culture we live in today. But I feel like me giving up allowed me to take the next step and possibly finding that solution, and allowing Abba to come in and be like, all right, do this. And he didn't necessarily give me the next 2 or 3 steps, but he gave me the thing to kind of look at, to be like, okay, this is where you are. All right, just look at that for a minute. I'll give you the next thing when I'm ready. And even in the waiting for that, it's just like, oh, maybe I should. And it's like, no, I give up. I give up. He says in the Bible, where we are weak, then he is strong. So in that place where we can't think of anything else to do, in that place where we're just like, gosh, I really suck at this, that's where we can really see him work. When we meet those walls, when we're like, I can't do anything else, like, that's when we should rejoice. That's when we should give up our praise. We should give up our worship. We should give up our adoration unto him, knowing that he's about to show up and show out. When, how, where, we don't quite know. We should be constantly giving up, being like, this is not mine, this is all you. So I'm just gonna, if all I can do is sit here and cry, if all I can do is sit here and sing, if all I can do is sit here and, I don't know, even if he brings a friend, you just spend time with them, then do that. And he's faithful. He's like always faithful. And I think that's the number one thing that we have to remember. So yes, I think that that's it for today, this whole 5 minutes. I don't want to go too much over that. So I just pray, I think I'm going to post this on Monday. So I pray that this just helps you, like, even as you go through your week, if you find you're at a place where you're just like, I give up, rejoice in that. Because that's when Abba really gets to show out, and that's when we really get to partner with him. And all the things that we have done up to that point, he can then use that, and he can come through and be faithful and do what he does, because he's good and he's awesome and he's our father, or if you need to, he is our mother. But yeah, all right, love you guys bunches and have a good one.